The galaxy was vast, full of stars, planets, and life. Countless species lived among the planets, each with its own language, customs, and ways of thinking. They all had one place that mattered above all others: the Council of Worlds. It was a large assembly where every species had a seat. Here, disputes were solved, trades were made, and wars were stopped before they began. Every species respected the Council because it had ruled for thousands of years. The humans were among the youngest species at the Council, yet they were respected more than many older civilizations. Their seat was always filled, their voices clear, their logic sharp. Humans were clever, but also brave. When disputes became violent, humans often found a way to stop them. They had built peace where others had failed. Then one day, the Council noticed something strange. The human seat was empty. Not for a moment, not for an hour, but for days. The holographic symbol of Earth blinked and went dark. No signal, no message, nothing. Ambassador Nerev, a tall, thin figure from the Luran species, was the first to speak. "Where is humanity?" he asked, his voice trembling. "They are never late. They are never absent. Something is wrong," the other council members murmured. Some shook their heads. Some looked worried. The human absence was unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Captain Kael, the admiral of the Drur Confederation, leaned forward in his chair. "I have seen many wars. I have seen many civilizations fall. Never have I seen humans abandon a seat. This is not carelessness. This is warning." Meanwhile, across the solar system on Mars, Commander Lucas Hale looked out of the window of the Sol station. The red desert stretched below, calm and silent. His fingers tapped on the control panel. He was watching the last human ship leave the orbit of Mars. "Are they really doing this?" Lucas asked his second, a young officer named Tara. "They said it was the only way," Tara replied. Her voice was quiet, almost fearful. Lucas did not answer. He remembered the message from the president of Earth, Mira Lane. Her words were simple but firm. "The galaxy will not listen until it feels." Lucas understood. Humans had always been patient, but sometimes patience had limits, and now patience had ended. On Earth, the cities were still. People walked the streets, but no one hurried to the communications towers. All ships that could leave orbit had done so. All colonies had been told to shut off transmissions. Humanity had vanished from the galaxy's eyes. The Council tried to reach them. Messages were sent to every human base, every ship, every satellite. Nothing returned. Even old trade channels that never failed were silent. Ambassador Nerev's voice rose in frustration. "They cannot vanish. They will answer. They must answer." But the silence remained. The galaxy began to worry. Small empires whispered to each other. Traders feared loss. Scientists wondered if humans had died in some great disaster. And the military powers began to prepare just in case. Back on Mars, Lucas received his orders. "Shut down all communications. No ship leaves without approval. No signal is sent to the Council. Humanity will remain hidden." Lucas nodded. He knew the cost. The galaxy would not understand. Many would call them cowards. Some would call them traitors. But humans did not act for glory. They acted for survival, and for the galaxy, even if it did not know it. Days passed. Weeks passed. The Council grew anxious. Why would they leave? Asked Elder Torin of the Wylax. His voice was old, filled with worry. Why abandon the table? They are not weak. They are not afraid. Then why? No one answered. The silence was heavy. In the darkness beyond the stars, something moved. Dark ships traveled without lights, without signals. They were not human, not Council, not known. Their shapes were strange, and their speed was beyond understanding. Lucas did not know it, but humans had seen them too. They had seen the signs for years and had chosen a silent path. The galaxy could not understand yet, but humans were preparing for what would come. On Earth, President Mira Lane stood before her council. "We will not speak. We will not join the table. Words will not stop what comes. Only action will." Her advisors shook their heads. "But President, the galaxy needs humans. They look to us for guidance. They need our help." Mira's eyes were steady. "They have guidance. They only need to survive to learn the lesson. The galaxy will have its chance later." Across the council chambers, Nerev and Kale debated. "If humans have truly abandoned the table," Nerev said, "then we face something we cannot fight. Humans never abandon their duty. If they leave, it is because the danger is greater than all our fleets combined. Kale's voice was low, almost a whisper. Then we wait. And we watch. And we hope that the human's choice is enough to protect us all. In the outer colonies, traders began to notice something strange. Human freighters no longer appeared. Supplies dwindled. Plans that depended on human trade faltered. Some civilizations began to argue over resources, unable to rely on the humans who once mediated disputes. Yet for all the confusion, one truth remained. Humans had chosen this path deliberately. There was no panic on Earth. There was no fear among the people. They moved with precision, shutting down fleets, pulling back colonies, and closing all transmissions. Commander Lucas Hale received one final message before his ship went dark. It was not a command, not a warning, but a single line. Prepare. They are coming. He read it over and over. The words were simple, yet they carried weight heavier than any warship. Tara, his second, asked, "Who are they?" Lucas looked at her, his eyes dark. "We don't know. But we know why humans have left the table. It is not surrender. It is a warning to everyone else. The galaxy will learn soon enough." Back at the council, ambassadors debated what to do. Some wanted to send fleets to Earth. Others wanted to wait. Every species felt fear, though none could say why. Humans had left without explanation. Yet somehow the absence spoke louder than any message. Nerev stared at the dark screen where the Earth symbol once glowed. "They are stronger than we imagined," he whispered. "And now the galaxy will learn how dangerous it is to anger them." Days became weeks, and weeks became months. The council continued to meet, but every discussion ended with the same thought. Where are the humans? Why have they left? What are they preparing for? On Mars, Lucas watched the stars. Ships moved quietly through the void, but none were human. He remembered his training, the battles he had fought and the wars he had seen. And he realized that humanity's silence was louder than any cannon, stronger than any fleet. Tara spoke softly. "Do you think they are ready?" Lucas did not answer immediately. He looked at the stars, at the dark spaces between them. "They are always ready. That is why the galaxy fears them, even now." And far beyond the light of known systems, something waited, something ancient, something that humans had seen long before anyone else. It moved slowly but with purpose. And the humans, silent and hidden, were watching too. The council could not know. The galaxy could not know. Only humanity knew what lay ahead, and why they had chosen to leave the table. It was not fear that drove them away. It was responsibility. The galaxy had grown careless, thinking peace was simple. Humans had learned the truth. Peace is fragile, and sometimes words are not enough. As Lucas Hale prepared his fleet for the unknown, he thought of President Lane's words again. "The galaxy will not listen until it feels." Now, the galaxy would feel, and humans waited in silence, their seat empty, their eyes on the stars, and their minds on the danger that would soon arrive. For the first time in history, the council understood the meaning of absence. The seat at the table was empty, but the presence of humanity was everywhere, and somewhere in the void, the first signs of what humans had feared began to stir. The galaxy had watched the humans leave the table, and it had not yet realized the terror that awaited. The humans were gone, but the story was only beginning. The silence of humanity did not last forever. Across the galaxy, the absence of human activity began to be felt in ways no one had expected. Trade slowed, communication faltered, and old alliances wavered. Civilizations that once depended on human technology and diplomacy now struggled to maintain their own order. On the council station, the mood grew tense. Ambassadors paced the corridors, their voices low, filled with fear and suspicion. Nerev, the Luran ambassador, stood at a window looking out at the endless stars. "They have left," he said quietly to Kale, the Drur admiral. "And I fear it is not temporary." Kyle nodded. "We do not know why, but we must be ready for what comes. If humans left the table, it is because they saw something none of us could face." Meanwhile, on Mars, Commander Lucas Hale oversaw the final preparations of the human fleet. The ships had been stationed quietly in hidden orbits, their engines cooled, their weapons ready. Every crew knew the plan, yet none questioned it. Humanity had never acted without purpose. Tara, Lucas's second in command, walked alongside him through the main hangar. "Do you think the galaxy will understand?" she asked. Lucas shook his head. "No, they do not understand even now, but they will." They will feel what we have always known, that peace is not free, and that some threats are too great for words alone. Lucas and Tara moved from ship to ship, checking weapons, engines, and communication arrays. Every human outpost from the inner colonies to the edge of the solar system followed the same orders. Silence, preparation, observation. Even Earth itself seemed to hold its breath. Cities were quiet, streets less crowded, and the skies were empty of commercial ships. People worked in secret, building, testing, and training. No one outside the human sphere knew what was happening, and that was the way it had to be. In the outer colonies, the other species began to notice changes. Trade ships disappeared. Human technology that powered entire cities no longer responded. Systems collapsed slowly, causing confusion and panic. Ambassador Nerev held an emergency session with the remaining council members. "Something is happening," he said. "Humans do not abandon the table without reason. I fear we are seeing only the first signs." Elder Torin, the Wilax representative, leaned on his staff. "We cannot wait forever. If they are preparing for war or something worse, we must take action. Perhaps we should strike first." Kale shook his head. "We cannot fight what we do not understand. Humans are gone by choice. If we attack, we may awaken something far beyond our comprehension." As the debate continued, a small council patrol detected an anomaly near the edge of the Perseus Arm. A single scout ship reported a planet that had been stripped of life. Cities were burned, oceans boiled, and the air was thick with ash. The council members gasped. "This cannot be," said one ambassador. "Humanity would never destroy a planet without reason." But it was not humanity that had destroyed it. A human probe in orbit transmitted a single message back to Earth. "Do not follow." The council panicked. What could scare humans enough to abandon the table? What could make them silent, careful, and hidden? Lucas received updates on the fleet from hidden command centers across the solar system. "The galaxy is preparing," he said. "They sense our absence. Some will see it as weakness. Others will see it as an opportunity." "Both are dangerous," Tara asked. "Do we show them what we have built? Or do we wait?" Lucas thought for a moment. "We wait, we prepare. They will learn in time why we left." In the void beyond the known galaxy, dark shapes moved. Ships without lights, without transponders, and without any recognizable markings drifted closer to the human colonies. These were not explorers. They were predators, and humanity had already noticed them long before anyone else. The council sent fleets to investigate the dead planet, but every ship was intercepted. Small drones disabled engines and communications before sending the patrols back. There were no casualties, but the message was clear: do not come closer. On Mars, Lucas reviewed the reports. "They are learning to fear," he said. "The galaxy will learn too soon enough." President Mira Lane addressed her council again. "We have done everything to prepare," she said. "Every fleet is in place, every colony is ready. The galaxy may not understand our silence, but our actions will speak for us. We do not retreat out of fear. We retreat to survive, to protect what the council cannot protect itself from." In the council chambers, fear and confusion grew. The absence of humanity created chaos in the minds of every species. Plans that once seemed solid now faltered. Some civilizations began small conflicts, claiming resources left unattended by humans. Others tried to rebuild alliances without the guidance they had relied on. Yet all of them felt it. The galaxy sensed that something was coming, something humans had seen and feared, and humans, in their silence, were watching every move. Lucas and Tara walked across the observation deck of the largest human ship in orbit around Mars. Stars stretched infinitely around them, but their eyes were on the edge of known space. "We have trained for this," Lucas said. "Every human in the colonies knows what is coming. We will not fail. The galaxy may call us reckless, arrogant, or silent, but when the moment comes, they will understand why we acted as we did." Tara nodded. "Do you think they will forgive us?" Lucas smiled faintly. "Forgive us? Perhaps not. Respect us? Yes. In time, the galaxy will respect humanity, even if it does not understand it now." In hidden stations on the far side of the solar system, engineers and scientists worked day and night. They tested weapons that no other species had ever seen. They trained soldiers for battles that could not yet be imagined. And they did it quietly, without alerting anyone, without giving the council a reason to interfere. Even children knew to watch the skies. Schools included lessons about patience, observation, and readiness. The galaxy outside did not know it, but every human, from the youngest to the oldest, had a role in the coming events. On one remote moon, a team of human scouts observed a strange signal beyond the rim of the galaxy. It was faint, irregular, and enormous. No council sensors had detected it. No species had noticed it. But humans had. "Is this it?" asked Tara, pointing at the display. Lucas studied it. "Yes, and it is worse than we imagined." Back at the council, panic began to spread. Ships were recalled from distant systems. Communication lines were overloaded with questions, requests, and fears. "Where are the humans?" Every species asked. "Why have they abandoned the table?" But humanity did not answer. They only prepared. Lucas called a meeting with the fleet commanders. "We wait," he said. "We do not strike first. We do not speak first. But when the moment comes, every weapon, every ship, every human must be ready to act as one. Our silence is not weakness. It is strategy. Our absence is not fear. It is a warning." The commanders nodded. They had trained for years. They understood the plan. The galaxy might not understand, but they did. In the council chambers, Nerev and Kale watched the stars in fear. "They have vanished," Nerev said. "And yet I feel their presence. It is as if they are everywhere and nowhere at the same time." Kyle shivered. "We may have taken their silence for granted. The galaxy will soon learn what happens when humans abandon the table, and it will not be gentle." In the outer colonies, reports continued to arrive of dark shapes beyond the known systems. Ships went missing. Communications failed. And still humanity remained silent. Lucas looked at Tara. "The galaxy believes we are gone. That is exactly what we need them to believe." Tara nodded. "And when the moment comes, they will see the truth?" Lucas smiled faintly. "They will see why humans do what they do. They will see why we left the table, and they will fear the consequences of ignoring us." Across Earth, Mars, and hidden colonies, the same preparation took place. Humans were ready, even if no one else knew it. And beyond the galaxy, the first signs of the coming threat stirred, moving closer, sensing the void. The galaxy was unaware, blind in its confidence. Humans had left the table, but their watch had only begun. And as Lucas Hale stared into the dark, he whispered, "The galaxy will not understand our silence, but it will feel it, soon enough." The galaxy waited, unaware that the species it once relied on was already preparing for a danger no one else could see. The council grew restless. Weeks turned into months, and the absence of humanity began to create unease that could no longer be ignored. Every species whispered about the humans, wondering why they had left the table. Some feared they had fallen. Others suspected they were hiding. And a few wondered if humans had seen something no one else could see. Elder Torin of the Wilax paced nervously in the council chamber. "We cannot wait forever," he said. "We must know what has driven them away. If humans fear something, we must prepare to face it. The galaxy cannot rely on empty seats for protection." Kyle, the Drur admiral, shook his head. "Humans are not reckless. They never leave their duty without reason. Whatever we are sensing, whatever they are hiding, is beyond our understanding. If we interfere, we may make it worse." Meanwhile, at the edge of known space, a small council patrol moved through a star system near the Perseus Arm. They were investigating rumors of a dead planet, one that had not been reported in any star charts. Captain Lyra Voss of the Zilarian patrol ship scanned the surface. Her eyes widened. "It is completely destroyed," she said. "No life remains. Cities are gone. The oceans have boiled away. The air is unbreathable." "How could this happen?" Her first officer, Caro, looked grim. "It cannot be natural. No war of this scale has happened here. Not in this system. The planet looks as though it was stripped of life intentionally." Voss nodded. "Alert the council immediately. And be cautious. Whatever did this is not human, yet it is clearly linked to their warning." In orbit around the ruined world, a human satellite transmitted a single message. It repeated endlessly in a loop, "Do not follow." The words were simple, but they carried weight heavier than any warship. Back on Mars, Commander Lucas Hale received the report from the Council Patrol. He did not speak immediately. He studied the images of the destroyed planet, the charred surface, and the silent cities. "They are testing the galaxy," Lucas said finally. "They want everyone to see what happens if humans are ignored. This is a warning, not an attack. The galaxy will learn slowly what it means to underestimate us." Tara, standing beside him, frowned. But why show the council at all? Why not remain completely hidden? Lucas shook his head. The galaxy cannot be taught without a lesson. Humans have tried to warn for centuries, but words are not enough. Now they must feel the absence of our presence. Across the galaxy, council fleets attempted to investigate further. Ships were sent to scan distant systems, but each patrol encountered human drones. These drones were small, fast, and equipped with technology far beyond any council design. They did not attack, but they intercepted ships, disabling engines and communication systems. The message was unmistakable: do not come closer. Humans were everywhere, yet nowhere. In the council chambers, panic began to grow. Ambassador Nerev spoke with urgency. Humans have not left. They have hidden. They have prepared. And now we are seeing the first signs of why. The galaxy is blind. We cannot fight what we do not understand. Elder Torin's voice trembled. But why? Why would humans abandon the table? We need them. Without their guidance, the galaxy is lost. Kyle's expression was grim. Perhaps we have taken them for granted. Perhaps their silence is the only way to make us understand. Humans left not because they are weak, but because they are strong, and we have forgotten the measure of their strength. On Mars, Lucas Hale prepared his fleet. Ships of every size, from small scouts to massive warships, were placed in strategic positions. Weapons were tested, crews trained, and every system checked. Every human in the colonies knows the plan, Lucas said. We do not speak. We do not attack first, but when the threat comes, every ship, every soldier, every person will act as one. Tara watched him. Do you think the council will survive until then? Lucas's eyes were steady. Perhaps. Perhaps not. But we cannot fail. We protect not only humanity, but the galaxy itself, even if no one else understands. In the shadows of deep space, the first signs of the coming danger began to move. Dark, enormous shapes drifted closer from beyond the edge of known systems. Their movements were slow but purposeful. They were not species of the council, nor were they explorers. They were predators, ancient and vast, and humanity had known of them long before any other species had noticed. On one hidden station, engineers worked silently. New weapons, faster ships, and powerful defenses were being tested. Humans trained day and night for battles that could not yet be imagined. Children learned observation, discipline, and patience. Every citizen, from the youngest to the oldest, had a role. The council fleet sent more patrols toward the dark shapes, but every ship was intercepted. Again, no lives were lost, but the fleets were forced to return. The warning was clear: do not approach. Humanity had the advantage of knowledge. The galaxy did not. Back on Mars, Lucas Hale studied the reports. The galaxy is blind, he said. They believe we are gone. They do not see what we have built. They do not see the threat. And when it arrives, they will not be ready. Tara looked at the stars. Do you think the threat knows we are watching? Lucas nodded. Yes, and it knows that humans are ready. That is why it waits. It respects us. And that respect will be the first lesson for the galaxy. On Earth, President Mira Lane addressed her council again. The preparations are complete, she said. Every fleet is hidden. Every colony is ready. We have chosen silence because words cannot stop what is coming. Our absence is the only warning the galaxy needs. Across the council, confusion turned into fear. Fleets were recalled. Trade stopped. Alliances faltered. The absence of humans was no longer a mystery. It was a threat. Captain Lyra Voss, returning from her patrol, reported to the council. Whatever humans have done, it works, she said. Every fleet sent to investigate was stopped. Every ship was returned unharmed but disabled. They do not attack. They only watch. And the galaxy does not know why. Ambassador Nerev shook his head. They are teaching us humility. They are showing us the limits of our knowledge. Humans left the table not to disappear but to warn us, and we have ignored it for too long. In the hidden stations, Lucas Hale moved through the command center, checking coordinates and data streams. We wait, he said to Tara. We do not act until the moment is right. And when the moment comes, the galaxy will learn why humans abandoned the table. The threat beyond the galaxy stirred, sensing the void. It had not yet reached the human colonies, but it was aware of their presence. And humans had prepared for every eventuality. Tara asked, Do you think they will understand why we left? Lucas smiled faintly. Perhaps not, but they will respect it. And respect is the first step toward survival. Across the galaxy, species began to notice the strange calm. Humans were gone, yet their presence was everywhere. Systems that had depended on them faltered. Fleets that had relied on their guidance failed. And no one knew why. The galaxy had been warned, but it had not yet listened. On Mars, Lucas Hale gazed at the stars. Every ship, every crew, every hidden base was ready. The humans had abandoned the table, but they had not abandoned their duty. The galaxy might not understand, but it would soon feel the consequences of its ignorance. Prepare, Lucas whispered. The moment is coming, and we will not fail. In the depths of space, the first signs of the ancient threat began to appear as faint signals and distant movements. The humans saw it. The Council did not. The galaxy had no idea what awaited them, and as the dark shapes grew closer, the humans remained silent, hidden, and ready. The galaxy had watched humanity leave the table, and it still did not understand. But soon it would. The lesson would be harsh. The warning would be clear. And humanity, in its quiet strength, waited for the day the galaxy would feel what it had ignored for so long. The galaxy was changing. The absence of humanity had left a void that no species could fill. Without human guidance, disputes turned violent, trade routes faltered, and minor conflicts grew into wars. Planets that had once relied on human diplomacy now found themselves alone, vulnerable and afraid. On the Council station, panic spread like fire. Ambassadors argued and shouted, their voices echoing through the great hall. "We cannot rely on humans any longer," Elder Torn exclaimed. "They have abandoned us. The galaxy is exposed." Kale, the Drur Admiral, shook his head. "They have not abandoned us. They are preparing. What we see as absence is strategy. Humanity has always thought in ways we cannot comprehend." Nerev, the Luran ambassador, frowned. "Strategy or not, the galaxy suffers while they hide." "We cannot wait forever." In the outer system, strange things began to happen. Fleets sent to survey the edges of known space vanished without a trace. Communications went silent. Planets that had been inhabited for centuries showed no signs of life. Entire star systems seemed to disappear. Captain Lyra Voss, aboard her patrol ship, stared at the readings from the sensors. "Something is out there," she whispered. "Something vast and ancient. It is not a fleet. It is not a known species. And it is moving toward us." Her first officer, Caro, looked pale. "How is it possible that the Council has not detected it?" Voss shook her head. "They cannot detect what humans can. We are only seeing the edge of it. Humanity has known this threat for years." Back on Mars, Commander Lucas Hale studied the reports with Terra. "The galaxy is blind," he said. "They do not understand the danger. They will not know until it is too late." Terra frowned. "Do you think the humans left the table to save the galaxy from this?" Lucas nodded. "Exactly. We left because words cannot stop it. Silence is our weapon, absence is our shield, and when the threat arrives, we will act." Across the hidden human colonies, every ship was ready. Soldiers trained, weapons were tested, and engineers ran simulations of battles that could not yet be imagined. Children learned vigilance and patience. Every human, from the youngest to the oldest, understood their role. The dark shapes in space drew closer. They were enormous, slow, and silent. They consumed star systems as they moved, leaving nothing behind. Sensors could barely detect them, and their technology seemed immune to every known defense. The Council tried to respond. Fleets were assembled and sent toward the edge of the galaxy. They were armed with the best weapons known to each species. But every fleet disappeared. Drones, advanced and fast, intercepted them, disabling engines and communications, and forced them to return. Ambassador Nerev faced the Council again. "We cannot fight this alone," he said. "The humans were right to leave. They know what we do not. They understand the enemy, and we have ignored their warnings." Elder Torn's hands trembled. "If humans will not return, then we are doomed. Every fleet we send fails. Every plan collapses. What hope do we have?" Kale's eyes were calm, yet filled with respect. "Hope lies in humanity. They are preparing. They are ready. And when the moment comes, the galaxy will see what it means to underestimate them." On Mars, Lucas Hale received a new report. One of the hidden satellites detected a massive energy surge near the edge of the Perseus arm. It was unlike anything known. The reading suggested technology beyond human imagination, even compared to the most advanced Council weapons. "They are preparing," Lucas said. "This is not a warning. It is the final stage of preparation. The galaxy will not understand until it feels the consequences. Tara looked at him. Do you think the threat has noticed us? Lucas studied the data. It has, that is why it waits. It respects the humans, and that respect will be the first lesson for the galaxy. In hidden stations across Earth and Mars, engineers worked tirelessly. New ships were launched. Weapon systems were tested. Energy shields, faster engines, and advanced drones were all prepared for the coming attack. Every human knew their role. Every colony was ready. The galaxy remained unaware of the silent army waiting in the shadows. Meanwhile, strange disappearances continued. Council fleets sent to patrol outer systems were never heard from again. Mining stations vanished. Colonies went dark. The galaxy was terrified, but it did not know why. Captain Voss reported her findings again. It is clear now. Humans are protecting us from something we cannot see, but they are hidden. We cannot help. We can only watch. Nerev clenched his hands. Then we wait for their return. But will we survive until that day? Kel's voice was firm. We will survive because humans will act. When the threat arrives, they will show the galaxy what it means to prepare, what it means to defend, and what it means to fight without hesitation. In the distant void, the first movements of the ancient threat were visible. Enormous ships, organic and mechanical, moved like shadows across star systems. Entire colonies disappeared before the Council could react. The galaxy was unprepared and the humans knew it. Lucas Hale watched the screens, his face calm. The galaxy will learn, but not before it feels the consequences. Our silence is not weakness. Our absence is not retreat. It is strategy. And when the moment comes, the galaxy will know what humans are capable of. Tara, standing beside him, asked, "Do you think they will forgive us for leaving?" Lucas shook his head. Perhaps not. But they will respect us. And respect is the first step toward survival. Across the human colonies, final preparations were made. Every ship was fueled. Every weapon was ready. Every soldier was trained. Humanity had abandoned the table, but it had not abandoned its duty. And then the first wave of the threat moved closer. Fleets of dark, enormous ships approached the edge of known space. They were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. They consumed everything in their path, moving with precision and purpose. The Council fleets tried to respond. Ships were launched in desperation, armed with the best technology of each species, but the human drones intercepted them. The fleets were forced to retreat, unharmed but powerless. Ambassador Nerev's voice shook with fear. We are blind. We are weak. Humanity has seen this coming for years, and we did not listen. We have ignored their warnings, and now we are paying the price. Kale's eyes were steady. The galaxy will survive, not because of us, but because of them. Humanity has prepared. Humanity has waited. And when the moment comes, the galaxy will learn the cost of underestimating humans. On Mars, Lucas Hale received confirmation that the hidden fleet was ready. Ships were armed, weapons systems were online, and every human was prepared for the coming battle. The moment is near, Lucas said, and when it arrives, the galaxy will finally understand why humans abandoned the table. In the Council chamber, panic reached its peak. Fleets disappeared. Colonies went dark. Communications failed. The galaxy trembled, but it still did not understand the magnitude of what was coming. Captain Voss spoke one last time. Humans are ready. They have hidden, prepared, and watched. The galaxy cannot see it, but they will. And when the threat reaches us, humanity will act. And the galaxy will learn what it truly means to be prepared. Tara turned to Lucas. Do you think they will understand why we waited? Lucas smiled faintly. Perhaps not. But they will respect it. And respect is the first step toward survival. The ancient threat moved closer, sensing the void. It had not yet reached the human colonies, but it was aware of their presence. Humans had prepared for every eventuality, and the galaxy was still blind. The stage was set. The galaxy had watched humanity abandon the table. It did not understand the silence, the absence, or the preparation. But soon it would, and when the humans finally acted, the galaxy would feel the consequences of its ignorance. Humanity had abandoned the table, but it had not abandoned its duty. The silent watch had begun. The dark shapes of the threat loomed closer. The Council fleets trembled. The galaxy waited, and humanity prepared to show its strength. The lesson was near. The warning had begun, and the galaxy would soon learn what it truly meant to underestimate humans. The dark shapes had come. Across the galaxy, stars blinked out. Entire colonies vanished, and fleets that had been sent to confront the threat never returned. Panic spread faster than any virus. The Council was paralyzed, unsure what to do, and the other species were helpless. But humanity had waited. Hidden in the shadows, their fleets moved with precision and coordination that no other species could match. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier knew its role. Years of preparation had led to this moment. Commander Lucas Hale stood on the bridge of the lead human ship, the Aurora Dawn. His gray eyes scanned the fleet. Ships of all sizes, from small interceptors to massive dreadnoughts, glimmered under the light of distant stars. Every crew member moved with calm purpose. Tara stood beside him. "They are enormous," she whispered, pointing at the readings from the distant sensors. "How do we even begin to fight them?" Lucas shook his head. "We don't fight them in the way the galaxy expects. We fight smart. We fight together. And we fight to protect everything we've left behind." The dark shapes drew closer, massive ships that seemed part machine, part organic. Their presence was oppressive, their movements deliberate. They consumed star systems without warning, leaving nothing behind. And yet they had not yet touched the hidden human colonies. Lucas tapped the controls. "Deploy the drones. Activate the shields. Prepare the weapons." Across the human fleets, thousands of ships lit up with activity. Drones moved ahead silently, scouting and mapping the enemy. Energy shields hummed into life, creating invisible barriers around the colonies. Weapon systems, unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, charged with bright pulses of energy. In the council chambers, Ambassador Nerev could only watch. "They are back," he said quietly. "The humans, they have returned. And the galaxy cannot stop them," Elder Torin nodded slowly. "Perhaps we have finally learned the cost of ignoring them. Perhaps we now understand why they left the table." The first clash came without warning. A massive dark ship approached the outskirts of the human defensive line. It unleashed a wave of energy that destroyed several scout ships instantly. Lucas watched carefully. "Hold position. Let them come closer." "We are ready," Tara frowned. "Isn't that risky?" Lucas smiled faintly. "They expect us to panic. They expect us to fight blindly. But humans do not fight blindly. We act with purpose." When the enemy ship moved into range, the human fleet struck. Energy lances cut through the dark hull like light through mist. Drones swarmed, disabling the ship's systems before it could react. In minutes, the first attack was neutralized. Across the galaxy, news began to spread. The Council fleets that had fled to safety could only watch through distant sensors as the human forces displayed power beyond imagination. The enemy moved faster, sending wave after wave of massive ships. But humanity responded with perfect coordination. Shields absorbed attacks, weapons struck with precision, and drones disrupted the enemy systems. Lucas spoke over the fleet network. "Do not let fear guide you. Every ship, every weapon, every crew member must act as one. Humanity is the shield of the galaxy, and today we show why." Tara moved to the observation deck. She looked at the enormous enemy fleet advancing steadily. "They are endless," she said quietly. "How can we possibly win?" Lucas placed a hand on her shoulder. "We do not need to win in the way the galaxy imagines. We need to survive, to hold the line, to protect. And when the enemy sees our strength, it will know the cost of underestimating humans." The battle raged for hours, then days. Ships collided in flashes of light. Energy pulses tore through the darkness, and the sound of explosions echoed through space. Humanity's technology was superior, but the enemy was vast. Every human ship had to fight at its limits. In the midst of battle, Lucas received a signal from Earth. President Mira Lane's voice came through the secure network. "We are proud of every human fighting today. The galaxy may not understand our absence, but they will see our actions. Hold the line. Protect everything." Lucas nodded. "We will, for humanity, for the galaxy." As the fighting continued, humans revealed more of their secret technology. Massive rings appeared in orbit around critical star systems, generating energy fields that repelled attacks. Autonomous drones swarmed enemy ships, cutting through engines and weapon systems. Every human vessel acted in perfect synchronization. The dark shapes began to falter. Their attacks became less coordinated. Systems failed. Ships fell. The enemy had never faced a species that combined intelligence, strategy, and courage in such a way. Across the Council fleets, members could only watch in awe. "They are unstoppable," Nerev whispered. "The humans, they are beyond anything we imagined." Elder Torin shook his head. All our fleets combined would never have held them. And yet humans, they have done it alone. The final wave of enemy ships approached the inner human colonies. Lucas knew this was the last stand. All ships, all crews, focus fire. Protect the colonies. Destroy every enemy that moves within range. Humanity does not retreat. Energy lances struck the massive ships, tearing through them with precision. Shields absorbed attacks, and drones disabled enemy systems faster than the dark shapes could respond. The enemy tried to regroup, but humanity's coordination was unmatched. Terra watched as another massive enemy ship exploded in a brilliant flash. "We are winning," she said in disbelief. Lucas nodded. "We are not just winning. We are showing the galaxy what humans are capable of. Our silence, our absence, and our preparation have led to this moment. The galaxy will never doubt humanity again." Hours later, the final enemy ships were destroyed. The dark shapes were gone. Star systems that had been threatened were safe. The hidden human colonies remained untouched, ready to thrive once more. Across the council, silence filled the chambers. No one spoke. They had seen the humans' power and they understood. Words could not describe it. Technology could not explain it. The galaxy had witnessed humans acting alone, hidden, and perfectly prepared. Nerev spoke finally. "The humans have returned, and they have saved the galaxy. We owe them more than we can ever repay." Elder Torin nodded slowly. "They abandoned the table, yes. But they did so to protect us all, and in their absence, they prepared a shield no one else could provide." On Mars, Lucas Hale watched the aftermath. Ships floated quietly. Systems were secure, and every human vessel returned to its hidden stations. Humanity had acted, and the galaxy had survived. Tara turned to him. "Do you think the galaxy understands why we left?" Lucas smiled faintly. "They may not fully understand, but they will respect it. And respect is the first step toward peace." In the council chambers, the announcement came. Humanity would not return to the table. Their seat remained empty. Their fleets withdrew to hidden systems. Their colonies returned to quiet life. President Mira Lane spoke to the galaxy through the remaining communications channels. "Peace is not built by words alone. It is guarded by those willing to stand alone, ready for the threats others cannot see. Humanity has acted not for glory but for duty. The galaxy may not understand our silence, but we have protected it, and that is enough." The council bowed in acknowledgement. Ambassadors from every species whispered among themselves. They had seen the power of humanity, and they knew that from this moment onward humans were not just participants at the table of peace. They were its guardians. Across the galaxy, fleets rebuilt. Trade resumed. Alliances reformed. But the memory of humanity's absence and the devastating power they revealed lingered. Every species now understood that humans were unlike any other. Lucas Hale walked among the fleets, visiting ships, speaking to crews, and ensuring that everything was in order. The galaxy had been saved, but humanity's vigilance would not end. They had learned that threats could appear anywhere, and the galaxy would always need protectors willing to act. Terra joined him on the observation deck of the Aurora Dawn. "Do you think they will ever trust humans fully again?" Lucas shook his head. "Trust is earned through action, not words. Today, the galaxy has seen our action. They may fear it, they may respect it, but they will never doubt it again." In the far reaches of space, human fleets returned to hidden stations. Ships rested. Weapons were stored. Drones returned to maintenance bays. Every human had played a role in the defense, and now it was time to recover. The galaxy had watched in terror as humans abandoned the table. But humanity had done so not in cowardice or surrender. They had acted with purpose, strategy, and foresight. And though the table remained empty, the galaxy would never forget the day humans showed what it truly meant to protect. The seat of Earth remained vacant, glowing softly under the light of distant stars, and in that quiet absence, humanity's presence was felt across the galaxy, stronger, sharper, and more enduring than anyone could have imagined. The galaxy had survived. Humanity had prevailed, and the lesson was clear. Do not underestimate humans. They had abandoned the table, but they had not abandoned the galaxy. And in the silent strength of their actions, every species knew one truth above all others. Humans would always watch, always prepare, and always protect, even from the shadows.